The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 40 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. This week we are talking about the second announcement of bands for Download Festival 2023 that's happened only a few days ago. I'm Adam, and as always, I'm here with Simon. How are you doing, Sire?
Hello, sir, Sire. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Good.
Excellent. So yeah, this episode it's a bit strange. It might seem like it's come at a strange time. We're doing it out of what's the right word? Out of
sync with our sort of normal
awesome.
ones.
Yeah, we're doing it out of sync, which is going to seem weird. It's going to be a bit shorter because we're recording it and releasing it on the same day, but it's the announcement. We have to record something and get it out, don't we?
Yeah, we'll only do this sort of thing for this is our podcast is called the Dear Download Podcast. If Download do an announcement of bands, we have to cover it.
Yeah.
Like outside of our normal sort of sync stuff.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And not quite as quick as some YouTubers, Simon, getting it out within an hour of the announcement.
I know.
Work.
I think it was about 20 minutes after, actually.
Nice. Did you? Did you?
I think the announcement came out at 4, and then my own video came out at like 4. I want to say 4:20, 4:30.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you start your preparations from the leak?
I cannot divulge that information or give away any of my YouTube secrets.
Okay. Actually, first things first, we didn't actually say we were going to discuss this, but yeah, it leaked again, didn't it?
It did. Yeah. I'm getting really fed up with these leaks now. And I know some people are like, oh, it's cool because you get to see it before, but I don't want to sound like one of those sort of like old school downloaders that's just about when you used to have no idea of the bands being announced, and those few moments where your heart would be beating like a million miles an hour and you would be looking at the list to see, oh my God, are some of my favourite bands here? That has all been ruined now. That's been completely stripped and taken away. And, eventually you find out, and then you've got months before and you go and watch all these bands. But that initial sort of just like, you look at the lineup and you're like, oh my God, who's in the lineup? Like, that, I just feel like that's been taken away from me now of all these leaks. It's just really annoying. Download. I don't know how Download could do it, because I know that they, when they book bands, it has to go to the companies that book the bands, not the bands that book themselves. There's a lot of fingers in the pies when you have to put together a festival. So there's a lot of places it can leak from. Yeah. I don't know what Download can do to try and make it better, because I feel like it's taking something away from it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
One thing, I think I've spoken about it before. Blue Ridge Rock Festival do. They announce the bands throughout the year. They've been announcing bands every sort of 3 or 4 days for a while now. That could be something interesting to do, instead of just building it all up, let it build up and build up and build up, and then release a big load of bands. They could try
That's a good point, approach. Actually. Yeah, not give people time to build a poster. So say, like, if we were to go back in time, like from this poster, Alter Bridge, they confirmed through the PR companies and through Live Nation that Alter Bridge were to be performing.
And through a really bad
So they put
poster.
out a post that says... So they put out a post that says Alter Bridge are performing at Download. No other band. Just that. And then everyone's like, oh, sick, wicked. And maybe, kind of like building a poster bit by bit. And I think then you would save on the leaks, because it would take time for that news to sort of filter through. And if Download were just being like a preemptive strike, like being proactive rather than reactive, so rather than having the poster leak, that's such a good idea, because then they would be like, Alter Bridge performing, and then 6 hours later on Twitter or wherever they want to post it, Alter Bridge performing. Oh, sick, Alter Bridge performing. And then you're like, oh, who's next? What day is it going to come on? We don't know. That's such a good idea, dude. That's a really good way of maybe quelling the leaks a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure because I think Blue Ridge Rock Festival, they don't actually book the bands before they announce them. I think that the fans. I know it's strange. This is how I think it works. I could be completely wrong, but they put it to a vote. They let the fans build the lineup. So they put it to a vote and say, right, these 3 bands, who do you want? And then they'll put it out, and then they go and book the band, or they try and book the band after, so
I mean, that's probably not a good model for a festival, because it would be like all the bands that you wanted, and they couldn't get any of them.
But I mean, that's the only other way that I know of. I mean, there's probably loads of different ways that different festivals do it. So I mean, there's probably a few different ways that it could be done to try and avoid leaks.
Yeah, true.
I chose not to look at the leak this time because I had a feeling it was different with the first leak, the first announcement. People didn't know if it was real or not, so people were looking at it, trying to speculate whether it could be. This one, there was a good chance it was going to be real. So I was
because the last one was.
So I was like, I don't want to look at it because it leaked the night before, didn't it?
I couldn't help it. Like I literally, you can't scroll for 2 seconds on Facebook if you're in these download groups without seeing the leak. And once your eyes have sort of gone over it for a second, it's already too late. So,
unless you're blinded by the poster, and I can't even see that, even if I wanted to.
I'll get started. We'll get started on the poster, and we said the same about the last announcement as well. But we'll get started on this poster. It might be even worse.
But I did it a bit differently, actually. I thought this would be quite cool to talk about how I did it. So I had to go to work the next day. I was actually walking and not in a van again as well, which is I've said a few times. I struggle to listen to music as much in a van, but I was walking this time. I'm a postman, by the way, if anybody knew. And so I thought, I'm going to find a playlist and just put it on. I'm not going to look at the bands that are on it. I'm going to find one that's got the updated poster on it, and I assume that they've added the new bands to it instead of just have all the new bands. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait for new bands to come on, and I might be like really excited.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I was writing down every band as they came on as well. So just to build a little bit of suspense as well here. So his first band was Motionless in White. They had already been announced. Then Slipknot. Then Lorna Shore. Then Disturbed. Then Asking Alexandria. Then I Prevail. And then... So, no, I was wrong. Oh, no, I've messed this up. Sorry. So then it was Beauty School Dropout, which I hadn't heard of before.
No.
So I thought they were on the new announcement. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was the 7th song to come on. And I was like, yes, this is a new band. Finally, my idea is working. And I don't remember what the band was like. I don't remember what the song was like because I was too busy being excited and thinking, oh, maybe the next one's going to be a new band too. And I thought it was a really cool way of doing it. But it seems like Beauty School Dropout were announced in the first announcement anyway. I just didn't notice. I didn't realise anyway.
Oh, I get you. That's fair.
And then there was probably another like 10 songs before. Yeah, no, I listened to probably about 20, 25 songs, and there was only a couple of bands that were new on there. So it kind of worked and it kind of didn't. But I thought it was a cool way of doing it anyway. And I wanted to talk about it on here.
Nice.
Because like I said, there was that excitement of when a new band comes on. It's like, oh, must be from the announcement.
Yeah, and you're like, yes. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen that you have said a few times in the Discord and on your YouTube video about the poster. Let's go back to that.
Well, this is what I want. Like, they're trying to use cool colours and to make it look different to the other posters, and that's cool. That's fine. That looks really cool. It's still got the sort of download sort of part of the totem in the background, which is cool. There's too much going on this poster to have, bright lines like pushing sort of out like manga that are like bright pink. Yeah. Then you have the headliners in like bright, some sort of like aqua blue. Yeah. And then to have everything else in white, it's too much. And other people have commented on my YouTube video and said, I find it so hard to read this. Plus, also combined with the alphabetical order, which automatically throws your looking at lineup posters off. It's just all wrong. I don't like this poster at all. It's horrible to read. It's horrible to look at, and it's horrible to read.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why having things in alphabetical order should be a bad thing, but I agree with you, it is. And I don't understand how or why. But
and also the main font bands aren't in order.
No, good point.
And then the ones under it are in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
It's I try not to swear too much on this show, because I used to do it a lot. But this is a fucking stupid poster.
Yeah.
All right, and I know that's nitpicking. It's someone having a go at a fucking font and a poster, but I don't care. It's stupid. This is the stupidest, hardest to read download poster ever for what could be one of the best downloads ever. But it's just not great. It looks too much like a Reading and Leeds poster.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a download poster. And I'm not jabbing at any other festivals just because they're not like metal or anything. But that's what it reminds me of. It doesn't look good. It doesn't fit in with the download aesthetic. And if this is the way they're going to go in the future, I'm sure I'll grow to like it. But for now, it looks horrible.
And
there you go.
And the headliners the headliners
don't
even have their own logos on there, which is odd as well.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think they're probably going to change it at some point because I don't think anyone likes this poster or the first one. The first one was better, and I thought that one was terrible at the time, but I actually think that this one is much, much worse than the first poster was. So
it'd be interesting to hear from the listeners if anybody is struggles with color blindness. Because I know there are some certain colours that just are harder to see when they're together if you're colorblind. I'm wondering if this is like triggers something. I can't think of the words, but if this is a big deal for people that struggle with color blindness as well.
I can't keep staring at it.
Really?
It's fucking hurting my eyes, man.
It's not too bad for me.
I'm just going to look at you for a few minutes before we have to look back at the poster because that is doing my nuts
That's
in,
fine.
honestly.
But
I can't look at it.
But yeah, I think I know I've said before, it's going on. I might seem like I'm going off a little bit, but I'm very much into board games, and I'm in a couple of board game groups. And sometimes, someone brings out a board game and the colours are really bad together, and there's a lot of people in the group, and they'll always say, like, did the designers not look and design at this, like, look at colour blindness and sort of design it to help and to not have things clashing? And that board games are a really niche thing, It's like if board game companies, I mean, it's hard if you're just one person and you're trying to make a board game. That I can understand that's not something that would cross your mind straight away. It's not until somebody brings it up to you that you would then think, oh crap, I probably need to cater for these people.
Yeah.
But to have someone like Live Nation not hit the mark on that, to drop the ball on something like that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, cool idea. Cool cut. The colours are cool, and the look is cool. I get it. It's supposed to look cool, but unfortunately, it just altogether looks bad.
Yeah.
So I don't want to diss the person too much that come up with this poster, because I think that the idea was a cool idea. It just doesn't work as a download poster. Like, if you go back to any of the other download posters, if you go onto the download website and you click on history, and then you just look at them. I know some of them are a bit dodgy, but if you just look at the ones where they've kept it really simple, and you look, like last year's is a perfect example. Look at last year's poster. It's so easy to read, and it doesn't hurt my eyes to look at it. And then when you go back to this year's, you're like, Jesus Christ, remember my retinas? I'm not sure if they remember that they're retinas anymore because they've been destroyed from looking at this poster.
Destroyed. But yeah,
like last year's posters, so and go other year. Some years, some of them do look ugly. I'm not going to say every download poster looks good because some of them are ugly posters. I hated the blue background ones, like the 13, 14, 15, 16 posters look fucking horrible. I hated that blue cascading thing. I didn't like that at all. It's the ugly ones. The black download posters look the best.
Yeah.
The black ones and the black and red ones, I think, are the best ones. Like the pilot one is a beautiful poster because it's set up like Reading and Leeds Festival more, like the one is now. But it's such a nice looking poster. It's really easy to read. Font is nice. Very cool. I know it was a smaller poster, but yeah. Let's not talk about this poster too much. Let's talk about the actual lineup. But I think everyone can gather how much this one offends me. Yeah. And other people as well. Not just me. I have had plenty of comments on my YouTube with people saying the exact same thing, that this poster is ugly. So we'll leave it there.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I agree, though. I agree. Another thing is, if you remember, back in I want to say August, maybe September, I predicted that it was going to be 4 days, and in November they announced it was 4 days, maybe a little bit earlier than that. I also predicted it was going to sell out, and at the same time, there was another one. I need to go back and listen, though. There was 3 things I predicted.
Was there 3 things?
I don't remember the other one.
You've done well on those 2. You've done well on those 2, dude. That's like perfect.
Yeah, so it sold out, which is insane. Sold out hours after the... it was in about 3 hours after the announcement, wasn't it? Maybe less. Because the announcement came out at 4. It was sold out by 7, I believe.
We haven't had this sort of exclusivity feel for the normal camping for quite some time, because normally it's only the RIP people that get that exclusive feel, because, you know, general camping never normally sells out. But when it sold out, I thought, wow, the ticket now that I have is gold dust. Yeah. Because the thing about Download is, I was saying this to my bro on the phone yesterday, well, I was just walking, I was just talking to him about Download, and we both agreed on the fact that people now, because they know Download's not going to sell out, they wait till the last possible moment. I know people that buy their Download tickets like the day before for camping, or the month before, or whatever. Like, people do it later and later. Yeah. This will have a knock-on effect now to next year, because this is what Download used to be like. It used to be like, you have to get your ticket straight away, because I'm not sure if this festival's going to sell out. And over the last 10 years, it hasn't felt like that. It's felt like, I'll get my Download ticket. I'll get it whenever I want. Don't really matter, because I know it's not going to sell out. And now that this is sold out, I have a feeling it's taken a lot of people by surprise. And there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that are like, oh, okay, I haven't got my Download ticket, and there are none left. And me and Adam were talking before the show. We were saying that we were just looking for all the ones that have sold out. And obviously the only ones that haven't sold out are the packages that are super expensive, which normally do sell out, actually, weirdly. They're normally like the first to go, but they don't seem to be sold out this time. Maybe people have decided, because money's a bit tighter, they've just thought, do you know what? I'm not going to spend £2,000 on camping in an Airstream.
Oh, is it those ones? I'm going to spend. You were talking about Camping Plus.
Well, yeah, just all those sort of upgrade ones, you know. And people are probably thinking, you know, because money's tight for everyone at the moment. They're probably thinking, do you know what? I'm just going to camp in the normal camping and make the best of it, rather than spending, you know, X amount of money on whatever the upgrades and stuff are. But yeah, I mean, what are your feelings and thoughts on how it's sold out? Really,
you made some really good points there. Actually, I'd not thought of. One was that it's taken a lot of people by surprise. Didn't take me by surprise.
Didn't take us by surprise. No, we weren't surprised at all. But I think other people that maybe don't pay attention to, you know, Facebook groups or podcasts, or, you know, people like me and you that are always talking about it with all the people in the Discord, for instance, people that are always on the ball, you know, announcement comes out, boom, 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 whatever. People that aren't so up with that stuff, I think they're the people that maybe would have got taken by surprise by it.
No, I was joking and being big-headed anyway. No, it really fucking surprised me. As you know, because I got my ticket less than 24 hours before it sold out.
You cut it close.
I did.
You cut it real close.
Yeah, it was. I'd been putting it off and putting it off, and I got to, it was Wednesday night, and I was like, the announcement's tomorrow. I should probably buy my ticket. So it was about 8:00 in the evening, and it was sold out by 7 in the evening the next day. So it was very close. But so I was not expecting it to sell out this quickly. I did put a competition up in the Discord. I don't know if you saw it, and said, like, right, we both predicted it's going to sell out. When do we think it's going to sell out? And I said, right, I reckon it's going to be within 4 weeks of the announcement. So let's say 3 weeks. I think I said like 8th of April, 8th of March, something like that. Yeah. And there was a few other guesses after March. And I said, like, whoever gets the closest, I'll buy them a beer. If anybody gets it spot on, I'll buy them like a crate of their choice. nobody guessed earlier than me, so I've got to go and buy myself a beer now, which I really didn't want to. So it's terrible shame.
Yeah, you do. You knew it was going to sell out.
Yeah.
You just didn't know exactly when, but you knew it would be around the time that the announcements would come.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, going back to what you were saying, some really good points there about having a knock-on effect. It sold, the last time it sold out was 2012, like we said before, when Metallica headlined, but I don't think that's the only reason. People are saying, oh yeah, Metallica headlined. It's going to sell out when Metallica play. We both said, and we think Bring Me the Horizon are a big factor of why they sold out. I think people underestimate how big they are. But also the fact that it's Metallica's only show over here. If they had other dates over here, it may not have sold out.
If you think about, if they're playing, they play like arena shows, right? So if you say that arena is, I don't know, let's say minimum 30 to 40,000 people, and they were going to do 6 shows. And then if you equate that to people buying download tickets, that's all those download tickets gone for people that would normally expect to wait as long as they normally do to buy a download ticket.
Yeah.
Because it's their only show. So you're right, that's added so much more. And then just a huge popularity of Bring Me the Horizon being so relevant and so popular, plus never headlining download before, that's a huge factor. And to add to both of those caveats, you've got Slipknot, who always draw a big crowd and always sell tickets.
Yeah.
So you've hit it out the park with 3 bands that together will 100% sell out a festival instantly. As soon as that was announced, I was like, me and you were like, that's it. It's going to sell out straight away. We can just see it happening. You can just see it's right there on paper. If you see Bring Me, Metallica and Slipknot, it's going to sell out.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
But yeah, again, as well, like you're saying, it's going to have a knock-on effect. Sorry, you were saying about there's no worry about when you get your ticket. There hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think there was before 2012, before the last time it sold out, like the first sort of 10 years of the festival. It probably was. People probably were thinking, oh, I've got to get it just in case it sells out. And I bet it was quite close to selling out, just because of how big it was at the time. But yeah, because it hasn't for so many years, it's just sort of gone that way and people don't think it's going to sell out. And it just did out of fucking nowhere. It came out of nowhere.
People have asked me before, In the past, they're like, is download going to sell out? I'm like, no. Get a ticket whenever you want. Get a ticket on the fucking day.
Yeah.
Walk up to the box office and get a ticket on the day and camp for 5 days. It's not going to sell out. And now, that's next year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about a knock-on effect. Next year, people will be like, I better get my download ticket quickly because I don't want to miss out again.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Next year's going to be a quickly get your tickets.
Yeah.
It might sell out. It probably won't, but it might. But I don't know that.
But yeah, the team at Download now might be able to spend more on bands because they'll be like, well, it's sold out. And they'll see how quickly the tickets are selling next year as well. And they'll go, right, we're more confident in our income this year as well. So we'll book some more bigger bands. And then the first announcement, they have huge bands and other people will go and buy tickets. So I think it might sell out for a few times.
Newer bands.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go down the, you won't have a lineup poster that says Aerosmith, Maiden and Def Leppard anymore. That's just not the way that Download Festival is going to be anymore.
No.
The Bring Me's a massive roll of the dice, and it's paid off, and it's going to pay off because I have a feeling they're going to be excellent and people are going to be well received. So that again will say, do you know what? I know people have been saying it over the last few years, but maybe it's time to start switching it up. And like you can do now, like you have 2 older bands and you have 1 newer headliner.
Yeah.
And then maybe the next year you have 2 newer headliners and 1 older band. That's sort of the formula of how it's going to go. And they'll look, like you said, they'll look at ticket sales, they'll see how well it's sold, and they'll go, do you know what? This was a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
Yeah. And
I know it's slightly different though because it's the anniversary. It's 20 years. We need to keep that caveat in the back of our minds that it's Download 20. It's a huge celebration. It's more days than it normally is. Metallica aren't playing any dates everywhere else. Bring Me a huge. There's loads of caveats to this year to it selling out, but I think that you're right. It can have a huge impact on what happens next year.
Oh yeah, there was a guy in our Discord actually, Retro Vertigo. he pointed out, which it didn't occur to me, but he says it seems like a turning point for Download, and there's no real classic / dad rock bands, which I think is a good point as well. With it going off of what you said about booking newer bands,
apart from Metallica,
yeah, but
because
Metallica,
they've been going since the early '80s, so
yeah,
technically the only that kind of band on there, Grandad band even. Not
I was going to say,
band.
well, they're like Disturbed.
Yeah.
They're probably a dad rock band now. Then,
oh,
because
definitely.
we're dads.
Yeah. You've got a few, but I get what he means. There's not many on there.
No, I think what he was talking about was because obviously Metallica came from like the 80s. Talking about bands like Def Leppard that would have formed probably in the 60s, 70s, who have got just a different sound. You know, there was I don't know when it was. I can't describe it, but there was definitely a sound change from those kind of dad rock bands to newer rock and metal.
100%. I get. Yeah, looking at it now, there isn't any. None at all. So, which is a huge turning point. Yeah, maybe that stuff now has got so far away from a young person's perception of what modern rock music is. The connection now is so long ago that is separated into a classic genre, and that's not what you want to have on a Download festival anymore.
No, but it's crazy because like I know I jokingly said about Disturbed would be a dad rock band because they're like 20 years old now or whatever, but it must seem weird. Like, so when we were growing up, say when we were like 10, what would that be, 95, a dad rock band would have been someone like Def Leppard or Led Zeppelin. And it felt like it was a long time ago that they started. But it's the same for kids these days, with bands from the early 2000s and that era. It blows my mind.
Slipknot, dad rock, straight away. Not the dad rock genre, but they are dad rock. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Disturbed, 100%. Evanescence, dad rock. There's a few dad rock bands there, but not many. But I get what you mean. It's
mind blowing.
We're those old people now.
Yeah.
We're those old people that go, yeah, man, I saw Disturbed support Marilyn Manson in 2000. Do you remember when David Draymond used to get out the electric chair? Yeah, sick. And kids are like, what on earth are you talking about?
Oh. Crazy.
Let's not get into that too much, all right? I don't want to feel too sad today, okay?
Yeah, all right. But yeah, so going back to tickets selling out, I mean, like you said, the really expensive ones have not sold out. There is a new one, which is Camping Plus, which is about 450 quid. I think a lot of people are going for that because they missed out on the general camping. Apparently, if you go for that, it might be sold out in a few days. I don't know. So this might be irrelevant information. But yeah, if you go for that, you can't get into the normal campsites if your friends are in there. You've got access to the village. But it's just kind of like a step between normal camping and RIP, I think, by the sounds of it. But I have seen people saying that maybe general camping might be smaller. They're pushing, it's something we said a long time ago, actually, but will be the minority in years to come, the general camping. Everyone's going to be going for certain different packages of RIP to get extra bits because they've got the money to spend and they like the luxuries. We'll still be in the Gur camping, drinking each other's piss and all that sort of stuff we do in general camping.
It might change because I would like to think that I would take my kid to Download in the future. And when that sort of thing happens, I think that's when you turn a corner and start, you don't necessarily want your family in general camping or whatever. But I will say, as a person who doesn't have any responsibilities to anyone at the moment, me and Vicky love general camping because you're in with all the madness, and that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
Where other people, they just go to experience the music. They don't care about the getting drunk till all hours of the night.
Yeah.
So they're more likely to want an upgraded package because they want it to be more like a hotel and going to watch a gig, which is fair enough. Everyone has different things, but I'm still in the phase now where I just want to get hammered with my friends. Like, I'm sure that will change at some point because I have no responsibility to anything. So it's different for everyone. But I get what you mean. Yeah. Like, soon it will just be shrunk down to like one campsite is general camping and everyone else is like in luxury.
Yeah, if it keeps going, just be like one person, one tent, and there's people going, no sleep till Monday. Fuck you, R.I.P. It's just shotgunning a can.
No, I suppose it will never be that bad because you're
everywhere. It's like, this is what we do in general camping. But I've not got a queue for the toilet now. Sorry.
There's one thing you're forgetting is there will always be young people.
Yeah.
And young people are the ones that stay up and party all night.
I'm not sure anymore at Download.
Really? Are kids not crazy anymore? I don't know. Like, I thought I was down with the kids.
I could be
clearly
wrong.
not.
I could be wrong. But our generation...
thought that kids these days just like to listen to trap, take loads of drugs and finger each other. That's what I thought kids this day and age done, which is pretty much the same stuff that we were doing like back in the day anyway. So it's just different stuff.
I don't know. I could be wrong as well, but I thought kids these days are a bit more sensible than us, because they can't get alcohol from the little shops that we could because we didn't need ID.
Yeah, true.
And so I thought their generation doesn't really go and drink and just get wasted in parks and on cider and spin around while chanting at each other. And so I did think last year at Download was a bit more tame. We did say
that's because there was no one there, though. Come on.
But also, it could be because like the newer generation, our actions in the early 2000s to sort of late 2000s are probably like cavemen. They probably think of us as like cavemen and could be like, what the fuck were they doing? Uncivilized dickheads. Like,
it was fun though.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just completely putting this out there. It just come to me like the top of my head right now. It's not something I've thought about in too much depth, but it's a fun thought. It's a fun thought experiment. Are kids these days
definitely
more sensible than we are, or we were,
or even more crazy? We don't know.
No, yeah, I don't think they are. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I mean, no, stop it. Right, sold out. One thing we didn't talk about when it was announced ages ago was the kids camping. I don't think we said about that. They've got a specific campsite for people who want to take their kids now. You just made me think of it when you said about, you want to go in general camping because you haven't got responsibility like having kids there. And I thought that's quite cool. So like, yeah, it'll be like a playground. It'll be a pain in the ass keeping all the kids together, but they'll have other kids to go and talk to.
Yeah, that's cool.
I bet that'll be really fun. I want people to let me know what that's like if do we have
anyone listening that actually goes as a family to Download rather than just we know a lot of couples that go to Download. We know a lot of like, people that just go by themselves or by themselves with a group of people. But do we actually have anyone listening that goes with a family, that takes, wife, husband, kids and goes to these campsites that we just never venture into?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be interested to see what they think their Download experience is like.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we do. Yeah, and let us know. And write to us, or you can come on the show if you want. Tell us. And
one thing we're not mentioning is obviously, if you still want to go to Download Festival, don't just listen to us and just don't go. There are still day tickets. So
yeah, good point.
If you do want to go, don't listen to this and go, oh no, oh my god, I really want to go now and I can't. Like, you can get day tickets still. So
yeah,
you can still go for a day to whatever one you wanted to, or a couple of days if you've got somewhere to stay, or I don't know, whatever the hell you're going to do. But you can still get day tickets. So they will. I have a feeling they will sell out. I think they'll sell out a lot closer to the time than now. But I do think that day tickets will eventually sell out. So I think if there is one particular day that you really want to go, I would advise you to get your ticket as early as possible. That's just my advice. Don't take it as gospel. Take it from someone who's been to 16 downloads or whatever. Get your ticket.
Cool. Yeah, good shout. Good shout for well done for moving us on from that last conversation as well. We needed it. And right, yeah. Well, what was your initial thoughts on the announcement then?
My initial thoughts overall were it's added a lot to the festival. I'm really happy that they put 2 synthwave bands on there. I think that from my perspective of bands that I like, nothing really much that I like has been added for band-wise, but there was already loads that I liked before. So I'm actually glad when a Download Festival poster doesn't have 30 bands that I like, because it means that half of those bands I'm not going to be able to watch because I'm going to struggle to pick bands. So for me personally, at the moment, this is the perfect amount, or maybe a few more, but the perfect amount of bands that I genuinely love to watch, and then I can go and check out either new bands that we listen to and discover that we like, or bands that I just go and watch, with people because I don't have anything to watch. So I think it's going to be one of those years at Download for me, which I'm perfectly fine with, apart from the headliners, because I love all the headliners. But yeah. It's still good though, and I think it's attracted a lot of people. It's a good mix of bands, good mix of genres, and overall, I'm very happy.
Awesome.
What about you?
So the announcement for me, there weren't many added that were to my taste really as well. Even some of the bigger ones, I'm not that keen on Five Finger Death Punch anymore. I know a lot of people have been quite excited about them. Hailstorm, I'm not too keen on them either anymore. Well, I never really was. But saying that, I've listened to most of the bands already, just like one song each, and there are quite a few that I would be interested in going to see now.
Okay, cool.
So initial thoughts, is not a great announcement, but now I think it was quite a good announcement. But the Thursday, probably need to talk about that as well, actually. The Thursday looks like it is going to be a half day, or just two stages.
Yeah, it looks shorter, definitely. Yeah, it could be two. I don't know. I mean, that... so let's say average is 8 or 9 bands you would have on a main stage at Download for the whole day. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's going to be 2 stages.
Okay.
That's going to be two stages because it looks like the average amount of bands you would have on Download main stage is 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Over the average, and there's 14 there. So I think that they're going to split those between, I don't know, first and second, or third and first, or I don't know how they're going to split it. But I'm guessing that's going to be 2 stages and start much later in the day, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Or the main stage might start normal time, actually. I'm not sure if the second stage will, but yeah, that's cool. I think that's cool. I mean, I was talking to my brother on the phone yesterday. I called him. I was walking back from Gloucester, and I rang him and I said, "What do you think of it?" And he said, "Yeah, really, really good, man. It looks cool." And I said, "What about the Thursday?" And he said, "Oh man, he said the same thing that you said. He said, I'm looking forward to seeing bands on the Thursday, but I love having my Wednesday and Thursday to just F around."
Yeah, you wake up.
But yeah, you do what you want. I mean, because Wednesday's normally my most drunk day because I'm so excited and like everything's happening at once. Your brain is like popping off, like you're at Download, you're seeing all these people, all this sort of stuff's happening. And that is when I just load up with drinks.
Yeah.
So normally Thursday morning is normally my most hungover morning. And the thought of having to go and see bands on that morning is going to be atrocious. So I love it because later in the day I will be appreciated. But I can tell you right now, first thing Thursday morning, I will not be looking forward to going and watching bands.
Yeah.
That will change as the day goes on. And by the time I get to Five Finger / Metallica, I will be a very happy man. But I'm still... I know it's a celebration and it might just be a one-off because it's a big celebration of 20 years, but I'm still not 100% on board with the Thursday bands.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like, yeah, the Thursday is the piss around day. You wake up, you have nothing to do all day, just drink and sit and have fun with the people you're there with, or
have a walk around. That's what I normally do. Thursday's normally the walk around day, so have a walk around the camps or have a walk around, have a look, see what's there. Then go back to the tents, eat loads of food and drink loads of drink.
Yeah.
I think that's the standard Thursday. Do you know what I mean? Put the tunes on and get fucking hammered. But it's going to change.
I mean, there was days where I couldn't drink first thing in the morning, but there would be people I'd be with who, as soon as they wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, they're drinking a can, and they can last all day. They can do it all day, and I don't understand it. But there have been years where I've just been like, "Fuck it, I'm going to drink with you," and it just not having any plans, having nothing to do that day, lets you make that decision and go, I'm going to drink today. I'm just going to drink as soon as I wake up, before I even get any clothes on, just open a can, play.
That's the thing, though. I feel like day drinking is much easier to do than getting sloshed in the evening, because you get sloshed in the evening, and when you binge, that's when you really feel the effects.
Yeah.
I feel like if I start drinking at midday and I'm absolute, you get really drunk in the sort of afternoon, but by the evening you can't get any more drunk.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a me thing.
Maybe.
I'll knock the beers back.
Yeah.
But that's it. You've reached your most pissed level. You're never going to get past that. That may be just a me thing. I know people pass out and lay on the floor, but I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I think my body just levels out. I think that's why me and you should start drinking much earlier than we would normally do on the Thursday this year. I feel like that's the only way that we are going to be able to accomplish this Thursday.
Well, yeah, I'll wake up and do whatever. I mean, looking at...
all right.
But yeah, looking at the bands, I have sort of thought, well, Thursday is still a piss around day for me. Do whatever, because there's not many bands I really want to watch on the Thursday. Now, after listening to some of them, that has changed. Well, might change, but it depends how drunk I get Thursday morning, really. I'll probably go watch Metallica, but like I said, I'm not too bothered about Five Finger Death Punch, Alter Bridge, Hailstorm, or any of the smaller bands that much.
On that day, I would recommend Perturbator, because synthwave is incredible. It'll be something different to what you would normally see at Download as well, so I might force you to check that out.
Me? Well, I'll just
I might force you to check that one out. But I'll definitely be watching Five Finger Death Punch, because I was thinking to myself the other day, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest Five Finger Death Punch song, but there are a lot of Five Finger Death Punch songs that I like.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched them. I never watched them in 2016. I never watched them in 2013. The last time I actually watched a Five Finger Death Punch gig was in 2009, which was like their first or second album.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen them in a very long time. So I am actually intrigued to see what they're like. So I will be watching Five Finger Death Punch.
Stop it.
And I want Alter Bridge to redeem themselves for me, because me and my brother were Alter Bridge fans from the word go. We were huge Creed fans, and as soon as Alter Bridge came out, bang. Now, they had some really good albums to begin with, dropped off in the middle, and they've kind of got back on track now. That's just my feeling towards the Alter Bridge albums. But the last time I saw Alter Bridge, I wanted to go to sleep. They were so boring. And don't get me wrong, Miles Kennedy's voice sounded amazing, blah, 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 blah. But they were boring. They had no energy. They looked like, it was like, it reminded me of System of a Down in 2017. Yeah. Just there for the paycheck. They didn't look like they were enjoying it. They didn't look like they were... going for it, having it. They just look like it was kind of like an end of tour gig where everyone's just fucking knackered, which is fair enough. Every band does that. But Alter Bridge have some fantastic songs, and they have a brilliant singer, so they should be blowing people away. So I'm really intrigued again. This is like an intriguing day for me. Perturbator is something you don't see at Download. Five Finger Death Punch, I'm intrigued to see what they're like now. I want Alter Bridge to change my mind live again, and then I'm really sort of... excited to see what the hell Metallica are going to play. So this is the most intriguing day for me, but it's not my most, it won't be my favourite day. It could be my favourite day, I don't know, but I'm with you that this is just more of an intriguing, let's see what happens kind of day, rather than I have to see these bands day, apart from Metallica.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got a few bits written down for some of the bands lower down.
You've done your research more than me. I haven't had a chance. Like, there is, spoiler alert, there is a shed load of bands on here I have no idea about, and I thought that I was up with new bands quite a lot, but there are loads of bands on here I've never even heard of. So I have to go through all of them and listen, because we will do that, especially in our build up episodes towards Download. We'll give our view on every single band, but for now you've done more than me, so you take it away. Dude.
Cool. Well, that's a good point. So if there is anybody new here, we will do similar to what we did last year. Around April time, we'll start our sort of countdown to Download. We'll cover every day leading up. Leading up to the festival. We'll cover each day worth of bands. Crap, I'm not sure if we've set enough time to add the Thursday to that, but we'll work something out.
The Thursday's small, so we can put the Thursday with another episode. That's fine.
True.
The other ones we can do separately again. So it's okay.
And I know that we usually get a lot of new people coming in. We might even have a lot of new people for this one because we're talking specifically about the coming download. I know that happens quite a lot. So for the new people here, Simon has this superpower that when he talks about a band, he makes me want to see that band or like that band. Just like I said about, I don't really care about Five Finger Death Punch. I do now care about Five Finger Death Punch. Which is great for you guys as well. He does it. I don't know how, but yeah, you might.
It's the shittest superpower ever. I don't know what my superpower, like superhero suit would be. It would be shit. I bet.
You would have a megaphone. Where your speech is your superpower, or maybe not a megaphone. You would have a megaphone built into your throat somehow if you were an actual
that's
superhero.
Scary.
And
it just goes.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, my views are likely to change throughout the next few months anyway. But yeah, some of the things I've written down about some of the bands that are playing. Ginger, are you a fan of Ginger? I'm sure we've spoken about them before.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I appreciate what they do. I appreciate that her vocals are very good. And I checked them a little bit out at Bloodstock, and I did think they were really good. But every time I listen to them, their music, it doesn't do anything for me that I can't get. I don't think I can get better. I think I can get better somewhere else. Yeah. But I have no dislike or anything. And if there were no other bands on and people said they wanted to watch Ginger, I would watch them and be perfectly fine. And I'm sure I would be headbanging as well. So yeah, not a fan, but I have appreciation for Ginger.
Yeah, cool. I think I'm the same. I think the first song of theirs I ever heard, I was blown away by. I thought it was incredible. And I went to listen to more of their stuff and I wasn't blown away by it. And you know what? That's happened to me with a lot of bands recently, which I do want to talk about at length at some point in an episode.
Okay, yeah, cool.
But yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on Ginger. Mammoth Mammoth WVH, if anybody doesn't know, is Will. You know who it is, Simon. Can you say it for me, please?
I don't know the first one. I know that it's Van Halen.
Yeah.
Don't know what the first bit is.
I think it's Will.
Is it Will?
I think it's Will. Will. I can't
that was someone else on my YouTube that I said on my video I had no idea who they were, and I was corrected by one of my watchers, which was great. So I was like, okay, I know who that is now, because I had no idea before.
But yeah, that was just if anybody wasn't sure, because there's another band on here that we need to talk about that I couldn't listen to because they have no music out yet. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. We'll get to them. Mom Jeans. I had never ever heard of Mom Jeans. I've seen people talking about them a little bit since the announcement. I did check them out today. They're a bit pop punky. It reminded me of Blink-182. I was going to look to see if they had any ex Blink-182 members in, but they're back together again now, actually, aren't they?
They are.
So, okay, so
full Blink.
It won't be.
Probably not, no, because they're probably concentrating on that. They're probably not doing any like side projects right now. But yeah,
good point.
That's kind of weird, actually. I was before you came on here, I was editing a video and I was looking for Tom DeLonge impressions, and then a picture of them came up like when I was doing it. So that's weird that you said that. Yeah. Sorry, it's not related at all. Go on. Cool.
Tigress. So I probably should say as well. Probably should at the beginning. Probably should have said at the beginning. I literally just put one song of each band in a playlist and listened to that one song. So all of these impressions are based on one song. As I just said about Ginger, it could just be that one song I like. That one song could be nothing like what they're usually like. So if you want to check somebody out, go and check somebody out anyway. So this is just like a brief impression that I.
Are you saying people to not go with with what you're saying?
Good point.
Is that what you're saying? Don't listen to Adam, but take his comments on board, but don't act on them. I don't know.
No, it's more of a don't shout at me if I'm wrong, because I got the wrong impression from the one song I listened to.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, Tigress. Where did I write that? I really enjoyed Tigress, actually. I never heard of them again before. Really enjoyed Tigress. I have nothing else to say. Just really
sweet.
Just Tigress, really good.
There you go.
So I'll be interested in checking more of their stuff out. Caskets, I really want to listen to more. I don't know why, because I didn't write down why. But I should have done. As I was doing, I did that really good thing I do, and thought, I don't need to write more down. I'll just remember it, and I don't remember it. But Caskets, I really want to listen to more. Really intrigued me. Oh, you got me saying the word intrigued now. That's everything
Intrigued.
from all of the bands I've written down for the Thursday. So, yeah, not loads of bands, but there's a few there that I want to listen to some more.
Check out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll give them all a listen. Like we said, and we'll do it all in our, download sort of build up days, and I'll give them all a listen. A few of those I've heard of. I've said this before. People only say good things about the Bronx to me, like over the years, and I know a lot of people that I know have liked them. Just been one of those bands that have just sort of just blown past me. So I think the Bronx is one of the bands that I'll definitely have to go back and check out again.
Yeah. Did I write
100%. I think it's hardcore stuff. I think like hardcore punk, maybe.
Yeah, I thought.
If I'm getting them mixed up with another band completely. But I like hardcore and I like punk, so hopefully there'll be a band that I like. But I've only ever heard good things. But apart from the big bands, yeah, everyone else. A.A. Williams, I think, played last year, right?
Was supposed to play last year, but we're pulled out.
That was it.
Thank you, Ready to Mosh. I knew they were on the lineup, but I forgot that they had to pull out.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure we mentioned them.
I heard that. I heard Jem and Kev from Ready to Mosh say that on their episode about these announcements. So thank you, Kev.
Big up Ready to Mosh. If you want another good podcast, go and listen to Ready to Mosh podcast.
Yeah. Awesome. Should we go on to the Friday, or is there any more you want to say about that one?
No, let's go to Friday, please. This is going to be a really good day, I think. Obviously, I would say out of everyone, I'm looking forward to Bring Me the Horizon the most, just because it's so fresh and new, and obviously we came to the conclusion that I don't just like this band, I love this band. Obviously, so that's looking forward to the most. Also, I think that Vil Vallo's latest album is so good that I can't stop listening to it, even now, after like 5 weeks after it's come out. So I'm really looking forward to that. Any Pendulum show is good, so buzz in. Carpenter Brute, again, a really fantastic synthwave / metal band that I'm super looking forward to. Elvana are always entertaining. And there might be a few others on there that I go and check out and find. So I think overall, I'm really excited about the Friday, like buzzing for the Friday.
Cool. Yeah. I'm only going to be talking about the bands that were announced in the second announcement. So there might be others that I will want to check out, but that's the only ones I've actually listened to for this episode. As soon as you said Bring Me the Horizon, I was like, crap, that's not on my list. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, but everyone, we've already done a whole episode about them, so don't have to talk about them now.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, so
any new people that are listening, any new fans, if you like Bring Me the Horizon, our last episode was entirely about Bring Me the Horizon, so go back and check that one out. We also did a Metallica one before that, and I think you can make an idea in your head of who the next one's going to be about. So
yeah,
there you go.
Cool. Let's have a look. Neck Deep. I think I wrote something down about them. Neck Deep. I was getting confused with Neck Deep and Knocked Loose. I've heard. I know
okay.
Neck Deep are that sort of pop punky band, aren't they?
Yeah.
But when I saw them first, I was like, I've been meaning to listen to them because everyone's been going on about them. How good and heavy. I think they're Knocked Loose are quite heavy, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Much really need to listen to Knocked Loose at some point. But yeah, Neck Deep. I've enjoyed some of their stuff that I've heard recently. Carpenter Brute. I've never really heard of Carpenter Brute, but I don't think it's my kind of thing, if I'm honest. Really honest.
It might surprise you though. Honestly, I'll give you one song to check out from them, and I think you might be surprised. I mean, I think they're French.
Yeah.
There's no vocals.
French. It's dark synth.
Yeah, it's like dark synthwave / metal, but everything's played on instruments. Obviously, they have synthesizers as well, but everything's instrumental.
Yeah.
So it's very particular. But I think if you like anything dark, and especially if you like anything with synths in it, or like dark metal, I think they'll blow you away. They are brilliant. And I watched one of their live shows that they done. What festival was it? It might have been I can't remember what festival it was. And I watched the whole gig, and it was like, oh my god, that was incredible. Like, I have to see these guys, so I'm super excited about Carpentry.
So am I now as well.
But I'm a disgusting goth boy. So if it's dark and sounds like Satan would listen to it, you know it's going to be something that I'll enjoy. So, you know.
Like I was just saying. So am I now, after you just talked about them. I'm really looking forward to them. No. Yeah, give me that song. I'll listen to it. But I'm not sure. There's a few on here, actually, that I want to check out some more. Hot Milk, I've spoken about on the podcast before. I accidentally listened to their whole discography because I put it on and I got really busy, so I just didn't turn it over to anything else. And it was all right. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was quite good.
That's a great way to discover a band. You just go to listen to one song, accidentally leave it on, and then accidentally really end up liking the band. That's great. Nice.
What did I write into? Well, Smash Into Pieces. Yeah, I like Smash Into Pieces. I'm going to check them out some more. Empire State Bastard. That's the one I said about earlier, that they don't have any music or any information really at all, because that's Simon's band from Biffy Clyro. So sort of side project.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I got told that. Someone again on the video, I said Empire State. I said that's a great name for a band. I was like, Empire State Bastard. That's great. I had no idea who it was, but now I've been told. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm interested to see what that's going to be, what that'll turn out like.
Awesome.
And they'll probably get a big crowd just because of him. So
yeah.
Well, maybe not a download.
Yeah, good point.
You were just going to throw bottles at him instead.
Yeah, but it could be interesting. No, he probably will get a big crowd. But I think it's interesting when big bands do other projects, and because they don't necessarily get as big as you would expect they would automatically get. Like, look at British Lion. I mean, they're big, but they're nowhere near Iron Maiden size.
Oh, I mean, they never will be, will they? But I'm on the fence, and I don't want to sound like Metallica, like Metallica did in Some Kind of Monster, where Jason wants to go off and do his own band, and then they just fucking pan him off because he's going away from Metallica.
Really?
But
I have still not seen that.
I'm not a massive fan normally of side projects. Like, some side projects are good. I would say 99% for me of side projects are not great.
Yeah.
There's only a 1% of side projects that are actually really good. So I'm never excited when members of a band that I love go to do a side project. Although as a musician, I know why that would be exciting, going away from what you would normally do, because that's always fun. But I'll be interested to see if it's if it falls into that 99% or if it's in the 1% of ones that are actually really good.
Yeah, I can't think of any other examples now, but I know there's a few times I've thought they should be massive because of who's in it, but they don't pick up as much as you would expect.
Yeah,
it's
true. Yeah,
an automatic
thing.
thing.
I agree with that. It happens a lot.
But supergroups, actually, while we're here, what do you think about supergroups?
Don't like supergroups. Never liked supergroups. Don't like supergroups. I mean, they have to be something pretty spectacular to be good. Like, again, supergroups are something I've got nothing from. I have no excitement about people forming a supergroup. Doesn't do anything for me. That's just me. Other people love when people do that, you know. But you know, you can get a really great album from it, and then you can get a Metallica Lulu. So it all depends on what side of the scale you're on. You know, you can go from the worst thing ever to something that's quite good. So, but
that's fair. You would have thought that there would be a supergroup at some point that had come out recently, or the last 10, 15 years, that have just blown up because of who they are. Again, like I said a minute ago, but it hasn't happened. There's no evidence of it working, really.
No. I think because the general consensus is people are like, yeah. And also, a lot of people don't like change, you know. When someone changes from what they are expected, what is expected, air quotes, of them. And we've said that before in the last episode about Bring Me the Horizon. You know, with people back in the day saying, stay in your box.
Yeah.
Stay where you are. Don't do anything different. Do you know what I mean? And I guess it's the same with those sort of bands, with side projects and supergroups, where people are like, just you continue to do what you do. I don't want to see any of this stuff. So Yeah, it'd be good to get people's thoughts on that. Yeah, let us know if you if you like supergroup, or if there's any really good supergroups that we should be listening to. Like, I can't think of any, but what was that Hollywood Vampires one? What is that with like Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper and people going about them guys quite a lot?
I did not know that was a supergroup.
I can't remember. They're called something.
Yeah, it's Hollywood Vampires.
I can't remember.
You're right.
Is that what it is? Okay, so I've heard a bit about that, probably just because they're the most recent ones, but I can't think of any other really good. We're probably missing one really good supergroup, but I don't know. Can't think of one right now.
I know heard of a few. Yeah, I can't think. Never mind.
Well, actually, there's a supergroup that's played Download.
Hell yeah.
Which is, Them Crooked Vultures.
Are they supergroup?
Do you remember that? Yeah, it was Josh Homme, John Paul Jones, and Dave Grohl.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they played Download. I didn't think they were anything special. Yeah. So, technically, Audio Slave are a supergroup. So, they're a very good supergroup. Because, technically they are, because they were all in established bands before.
Okay.
So, Rage Against the Machine and Soundgarden. So, technically, that is one that's really good. But then there's another one. That plays down. Prophets of Rage have played Download. And I, again, did absolutely zero for me.
Yeah.
Didn't like it at all. So, again, just not the one for me.
Yeah,
supergroups.
That's fair. The only other band from first impressions that I'll probably want to check some more out is The Warning. Whatever, you just wrote like next to them. Yeah, so...
The Warning, like.
Oh, so terrible. I should have written more better notes. Fucking dickhead.
More better notes. I love it.
But yeah, no, nothing else on the Friday. What are your first impressions for the Saturday?
Saturday, I mean, yeah, pretty damn good, if I'm honest. Metallica, obviously. Who knows what Sat that will be? That's still something we need to go into the future. Which one's going to be the St. Anger all the way through set? Disturbed, obviously great. Placebo, great. I'm gonna I'm not a fan, but I just keep getting told how good Ice Nine Kills are live, so I'm gonna go and check them out. Really intrigued to see what the new Bad Wolves singer is like live, because I really, really enjoyed Bad Wolves in 2019, so I'll definitely go and check that out. Again, Motionless in White, I'll probably watch. 3 Days Grace, I'm an absolutely huge 3 Days Grace fan, so I'm really, really looking forward to that as well. Yeah, and a few bands in there that I'm aware of that I've been told are very good, and a few bands I know Harry will probably drag me to Polaris, so I'll probably go and watch Polaris, and a few others in there. But yeah, overall, this is a good day. Really exciting. I think there'll be some good stuff in there, and probably on a few more listens, some other stuff that I want to watch. I have a feeling I'll be quite busy on the Saturday. Be quite a walking around day.
Yeah. So Polaris is another band that came on the playlist that I was listening to that I thought was a new band. It wasn't a new band, it turned out. So
no,
terrible. But yeah, so from the announcement, there's a few bands that I've already knew of, a few bands that I've liked since checking them out. Ice Nine Kills is probably going to be a given. I'm not the biggest fan. Again, we I think we got quite a similar taste apart from Dark Synth. Yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of Ice Nine Kills, but they are good. I think Kelly will be coming on the Saturday, so I'll probably go and see them with her. She had tickets to see them on their own tour, which they've had to reschedule, and the date is the Wednesday of Download, and that they rescheduled near us. So she was like, I can't go to that, but they're playing Download anyway, so she'll probably just get a refund. And I think she's looking to come for the Saturday only at the moment. She was going to come all weekend. So yeah, Ice Nine Kills, are we going to see them? Coheed and Cambria, I don't know how you would pronounce it.
I said that they're a band from Cambridge. Coheed and Cambria.
Again, never been the biggest fan, but I'll probably watch them if they're around, if there's nothing clashing with them. Def Havana. I don't know how to pronounce that one either. I've heard about them for many, many years. Probably a band that you've heard of. I've never heard any of their stuff. Definitely. I put them on, and what did I say? They've got a daughtry kind of feel to them. They seem like a softer rock kind of band, which I never knew. I'd never heard them before, so I might go and check them out because I'm a big fan of Daughtry. Bad Wolves.
Nice.
Again, similar kind of feel. I got like a Three Doors Down, Breaking Benjamin kind of feel for them vibe.
Yeah, a little bit on the heavy. They're very much sort of, I don't want to say a US radio rock because they're a tiny bit heavier than that. But yeah, they're in that sort of vibe. You can imagine them being played on rock radio in the States.
Yeah. So that's one thing I thought at the time when I wrote down Three Doors Down. I was like, what kind of music is this? What genre is it sort of mostly defined as? Obviously, it can't be defined as a specific genre.
Yeah, I would say like Bad Wolves, Daughtry, 3 Days Grace, Three Doors Down, Fozzy, all that kind of stuff. When I do a playlist, I've done like a US rock radio playlist. I consider that to be, it's not poppy, because some of it's quite heavy, but I mean, it's the stuff that in the US, the rock radio stations would play. They play all the normal stuff you'd expect them to play, Metallica, Maiden, Disturbed, and all that. But those sort of bands fall into that. Yeah, someone who doesn't like rock music or metal per se could like a song from one of those bands and not like any other bit of metal music, because it's like that's the sort of genre I put all those bands into. I like a lot of them. I like a lot of that. It turns out I like a lot of that stuff. So,
me too. Bob Vylan. Do you know much about Bob Vylan?
I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of things. I've seen a lot of clips online, seen a lot of stuff. Haven't really given my full attention to listening, but I've only heard good stuff.
Yeah, me too.
So
for a few years now.
And a lot further up the lineup than previous years. So I have a feeling that something big might be coming, possibly, for them. So, I mean,
there's one song I put on of his, which was, I think I need to say, is We Live Here. So people who know that will know what I'm talking about. But there's some words in there that I'm not going to repeat. And it sort of took me off guard, and caught me off guard, and I was like, you can't say that in a song. And then I sort of looked at the video that I had on Spotify and the lyrics, and I understand he's not saying that about other people, he's saying it about himself and how bad of a time he's had growing up, sort of thing. If that makes sense. And so it did remind me a lot of the King Blues.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah, so it's like a very London accent, but talking about things like race, and I think it'll be a very, very powerful show. I've never seen him, but I bet he's very, very good live and very good to see.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, well, I'll be checking out all these bands, and I will give more time to that because, a lot of people talking about it. So.
Spirit Adrift, I want to have a look, actually. I never looked earlier, but I got like an epic power metal kind of feel from them, which was good. I don't think there's many bands like that on here. Definitely not from the announcement. I can't remember who was announced in the first announcement, but I just want to have a look to see where they're from. If they're Swedish, I don't.
I mean, straight away, their covers automatically say metal to me.
Yeah,
love it. Doesn't say anything. Just says spiritadrift.com.
Not a lot. Yes, I did notice that. But yeah, they seem okay. I'll be interested to hear some more about them. And also, Anti-Saint. I've spoken about most of the bands on here, actually. Anti-Saint. They weren't particularly my kind of music, but I liked what they were doing. It seems like every album they're having they have like it's not a concept, it's like a
theme.
A theme, yeah. So kind of like the Seven Sins kind of thing, and so one album will be about one specific sin. I could be wrong with that. I haven't looked into it further apart from just the titles, but yeah. It's I think it's cool what they're doing, and I do want to actually look at that some more. Even if it's not my kind of music, I like what the way they've gone with it.
Okay, sweet, yeah. Well, I'll definitely check them out, 100%.
Yeah, so that was everything that I really want to say about the Saturday. Do you want to give us your thoughts on the Sunday?
Yeah, kind of weird that the Sunday is by far the heaviest day on this festival. Like, I thought that was. Straight away I was like, okay, they're putting all the heavy stuff on the Sunday, so don't be hungover on Sunday, people, because obviously super excited about Slipknot, always am, always great to see live. They never disappoint. Fingers crossed. Obviously, they don't this time. I know a lot of people are absolutely immensely looking forward to Partway Drive. Not me so much. Ghost, probably the band I'm looking forward to seeing to just under the amount that I'm looking forward to seeing Bring Me. Distillers, obviously, who didn't play last year, so people are excited for that. I Prevail, buzzing. Electric Callboy, who I've recently got shown and got into, so I'm really excited for those guys. Hatebreed are always great. Behemoth are great. So it's just such a heavy, from the bigger band standpoint. And obviously Lorna Shore, just absolutely incredible. And a really good band called Dinosaur Pile Up were added to the list, and I think they are awesome. And of course, Bloodywood, which again I'm buzzing to see. So Sunday, for me, without obviously listening to all the other bands, which I will go and do, I'm really looking forward to the Sunday. Loads of good, heavy, really heavy bands to watch on the Sunday. So yeah, I'm super excited about Sunday. Probably one of the best days, I would say.
Yeah, you said about Dinosaur Pile Up. I don't know how long they've been around for. I'm not sure I've heard of them before, but I did quite like them from what I heard. We're checking them out. They're a bit pop punky, are they? But a bit sort of more punk, sort of more raw punk than pop.
Yeah, it's more grungy punky than, because I'm not a pop punk fan at all.
Okay.
So yeah, it has that little twinge to it sometimes, but it's more grungy, alt metal, alt rocky kind of than pop punk. But I can see why there is some of it dashed in there, definitely.
Yeah, cool. The regular listeners will know Simon is far better at that kind of thing and distinguishing sounds better than I am. I know if I like something or don't, but Simon's got just that. I don't know what I'm saying or doing with my fingers here, but that
don't know what I'm saying. He's doing the Italian, like, my pasta's perfect mean kind of like stance. Remember, he's shaking his hand back and forth,
trying to get the right word. It's here somewhere. Nah, it's not. Have a look down through there. I am not a fan of Electric Callboy. I've got some friends who are massively into them.
Okay.
I've tried. I'm not a fan. The Huh, they'll be interesting to see. I've never really listened to them.
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Everyone goes on about the Who and how good they are. I listened to them. I was like, don't get it. Don't get it. Don't get it. So that's not one for me. I will be checking out, definitely.
Cool. I think I'm probably going to watch them if nothing else is on. It's not kind of stuff I would listen to, but similar to like what we said about Skin Dread before. Skin Dread, you can watch them all day long. I wouldn't put Skin Dread on to listen to. But yeah, live, they're fantastic. I bet the Huh are.
That's probably something we should mention, actually, quickly.
Go on.
That Skin Dread, for once, are not playing Download Festival. It seems like they're playing every other festival, but they're not playing Download, which is...
They'll be the secret band.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Surprise!
Of course! Here. Who else? Who else would it be?
Yeah.
That's not a diss. I really love Skin Dread, but they just seem to play Download every single year.
Yeah. They should. I was talking to a friend last night, actually, and trying to work out who has played Download the most. I know, because I've heard, like, again, it was Ready to Mosh was saying about Miles Kennedy. He's probably overtaken Corey Taylor, because it was so long that Corey Taylor was there in some shape or form.
Oh, yeah, every
year. But Miles
year.
Kennedy has been there a lot as well now. And so
I
was thinking about that. But band-wise, like specific band-wise, we were thinking, like, is it Slipknot? Is it Iron Maiden? And I thought, hang on, no, it's got to be Skin Dread who's played the most. Something we probably should know, or probably should have worked out.
We'll go
point.
back. I'll do a tally at one point. We'll go back and work all this. We'll work it all out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Hatebreed. What do you think about Hatebreed?
Yeah, love Hatebreed. Love it. Really excited.
It's strange. Sorry.
Go on. No, go on. I was just going to say, it looks like, if I don't know what they're going to do with main stage, but if they're like early in the day, I'll definitely go and watch them to start the day, because really good, really great live band, really good.
Yeah, awesome. I was going to say, it seems strange. I know I've only been looking at the second announcement the last few days, so I can't fully remember who else is on the bill, who else is on the lineup. But from this announcement, it seems like Hatebreed are one of the only bands from that era. A lot of the bands are from sort of the mid-2000s. Hatebreed were around late 90s, early 2000s, aren't they? In the new metal kind of era just before.
Yeah, they're just I think the first album was 2000. I want to say 2 or 3. So it was in there somewhere. Yeah, in that. Totally. Actually, I mean, you got Disturbed. They're old, obviously. Metallica and Slipknot, obviously. Bring Me. Even though they've been going since 2004, you count them as new gen metal more than old gen metal. But you're right. Yeah, I mean, 20. I'd say this is like a 2010s festival mostly. A lot of the bands on there are bands that people started listening to, I'd say, in the 2010s, most of them, and mid to late 2000s. So you're right, it really isn't. People thought that because like the 90s and Woodstock, and people thought that this was going to be a very new metal based, like people were talking about a new metal day and all that sort of stuff when we didn't know who was playing. But as it turned out, it's pretty much the complete opposite of that. So that's quite weird. Yeah, I get that totally. All that stuff's coming back now. Your Corns, your Biscuits, and all that sort of stuff. Linkin Park releasing new music and all that sort of stuff. But none of them are on here. So
no,
or no bands based around those bands are on here. So you're totally right with that one.
Yeah, Palais Royale. Did I write something down for them? I wasn't a fan of. No, I can't have been a big fan. Avatar. I was not a big fan of Avatar when I first heard them, but the song I had on today. Did I write down what it was? No, I didn't. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't too keen on previous listens, or I think I've seen them once at Download before. But I really enjoyed the song I listened to today, and apparently they've got a new album out, so I'm going to be checking out that new album, and apparently it's really good.
Sweet.
So
again, another band I've only ever heard good things about. And I remember, when did they play? It was like 20, I want to say 17 or 18, and everyone was like, said they were incredible. I never watched them, but but yeah, like that, I've only ever heard good things about them, so that will be definitely another band that I will give a bit more time to absorb.
The Amity Affliction up next. I think I've asked you about them before, whether you're a fan, and I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think you said you've really heard much of them.
No, I can't picture or hear any of their stuff in my head, so no.
Yeah, but I think Kelly's got an album on her iPod that's in our car, so they come on every now and then, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think they're okay. The song I listened to today, it was really quite heavy, and listening to it, I had to check with Kelly if it was the same band, or if it was the band I was thinking of, because they're much heavier than Kelly normally likes. But no, so I think they have some earlier stuff has got some sort of clean singing in it. They're not that heavy, but yeah, I definitely want to check out more of their stuff anyway. The only other one I've got written down is Beauty School, who sort of pop punky again. They sound okay. I was wondering, because there's Beauty School and Beauty School Dropout playing, and that is odd. It seems kind of odd to me.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they got mixed up in the office, and somebody said they wanted Beauty School Dropout, but only wrote down the first 2 words. So someone booked Beauty School or something along those lines has happened.
Both bands got booked by accident. I like that.
Yeah.
Halfway through an email to another one, they already emailed them, but then they emailed the other band, and they're like, oh shit, I've emailed both beauty schools about playing Download. Now we got to get them both to play. That's great.
Yeah. Although I did wonder if somebody left Beauty School and just created a new band and called it Beauty School Dropout. Something might have happened. I do want to look it up. It could be an interesting story there. It could be.
We're going to delve more into
coincidence at all. But
I'm wondering which one of those sounds like Deftones, because Beauty School is a Deftones track. So I'm kind of wondering.
Well, Beauty School.
Which one of them is just like a Deftones rip-off band? You know.
Yeah. Well, Beauty School. I think they were sort of pop punky again a little bit. It's funny how that's
Beauty
coming
School
back.
Dropout, by looking at them, they look like a pop punky kind of band. Beauty School, I mean, they look a bit more metal. That doesn't mean that they are. Oh no, emo infused alternative rock. So one is like a pop punk band, and one is a alternative rock band with probably a dash of emo. So they probably will be completely different. Yeah.
Yeah. Formed out of a number of members of Leeds bands with unfinished business. Anyway, yeah, well, we'll do some more research into that, and we'll talk about that at more length in our sort of build up to Download episodes anyway. So definitely we can find out. I think, let me just go through my list and make sure there's nobody I missed. Nope, that's it. That's everything. So it all worked out. I had a feeling I hadn't read all of my notes, and I was like, well, who did I miss going through? But I didn't miss anybody.
Good.
But yeah, overall, I after listening to a lot of the bands, I think this was quite a good announcement. I've seen people saying this was an amazing announcement. I've seen other people saying it's an awful announcement. I used to be the kind of person who, if there's nobody I knew on there, I wouldn't go and check out other bands. You know, I think I'd always have the intention to, but I never would. And so I wouldn't go and watch them, and I would say, well, this is a bad announcement because it's not bands that I know of already. Yeah. But I'm excited to be the kind of person who would actually go and check these bands out, because there's some really good sounding bands.
I'm excited. Bands. I'm excited to delve into, this is probably, for a long time been the download that I know the least amount of bands on. So I'm excited to go and discover some. I love discovering new bands and new music. So yeah, well up for it. Can't wait. Yeah.
It seems a little bit. I don't know. I think last year there were a few bands that I'd heard of just from various places, I suppose. But bands like Spirit Box, As Everything Unfolds, new bands, but that everyone just sort of knew were blowing up and they were getting massive. And I feel like maybe there's no bands on here that are in that sort of vein, aren't sort of on their way to blowing up like automatically, or people.
There was some like pre-blow up bands on last year's one. If you got Sleep Token to play now, talk about blowing up in the last few months, Jesus! But they played this last year rather than this year. Yeah, and a couple of other bands on there that have just skyrocketed in the last year. That I bet Download wish that they could have booked this year rather than last year. So yeah, you're right. A lot of those bands were sort of like on the cusp of going pop, and they've just gone that in the time that between Download this last year and this one. So yeah, if they had to go back in time, I bet they wish they could have booked a couple of these bands this year rather than last year. But yeah, still, I agree. Overall, looking pretty good.
Yeah, I need to look at the full poster again properly, just to see a bit more, because just from this announcement, there's quite a few bands that I would probably happily go and watch. But then putting them against the other bands that have already been announced, it's probably quite a good year for me.
Yeah.
I find it hard to say, because I definitely have said, I've said before that regular listeners will know, there have been years where I've seen about 4 or 5 bands that Download. I've been more than happy to stay in the campsite, just drinking. If it wasn't a band that I really, really, really wanted to see, then I didn't go and see them. I'm like, let's catch them another time.
There's only 1 year I've done that, which was 2016. Because the weather was so awful, all the stuff in my tent got ruined. I was just not in a good place in Download 2016. It was just horrible. I saw, I want to say 8 bands, which is by far the lowest amount of bands I've ever seen at a Download, because it was just so horrible. It was horrible. It really threw me off that festival. But yeah, you're the sort of person that I used to moan about.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard
you were the sort of person that I used to moan about all the time.
Simon's
you're not that guy anymore. It wasn't me, dude. It was all you.
It was all
you, man. You just needed a little shove in the right direction. After that, it's all you, bro. I haven't done anything.
Yeah. So awesome. I don't think there's anything else I really want to say about the announcement. Nothing that comes to mind. We've spoken about it a lot longer than I was expecting. To be honest,
as always.
But
as always, we've babbled on for far too long.
Standard for us. So anybody new, thank you for coming. If you're new and you're still here, and you put up with us for this long.
But, also, come and join our Discord. Come and join the Discord, because loads of good conversations in there, and you can say whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
Obviously, no hateful comments, but on the Download Facebook, if you put up a post, or you put up a post too many times, or you can't self-promote yourself on right? So, fuck the Download pages on Facebook. Come over to our Discord, say whatever you want, chat to loads of cool people, get more and more people on there all the time, and I genuinely love talking to all the people on there, so come over to there and say what you want, and we'll have a little chat.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun recently. And we talk about all sorts. We talk about football as well, and gaming.
Yeah, anything.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We do have competitions where I buy you beer. Not this time. I'm buying myself beer, as I said, but you could win a beer from me. So come and join our Discord. We're doing so many cool things all the time. But not just the Discord. If you can come and join us on all the social medias. We're either Dear Download or Dear Download Podcast. We're findable on pretty much anything now. If you haven't seen it already, Simon has a YouTube channel talking about all this sort of stuff as well and everything else. Go and check him out.
Simon Bond on YouTube. Come check it out.
Yeah.
I'm doing video a week, might even be 2. Loads of stuff. Really good. Appreciation to everyone that's come and subscribed so far. I'm nearly on 600 now. From when I done that 500 video, nearly on 600. That's 100 extra people, which is unbelievable. It's going it's like a whirlwind at the moment. I'm absolutely loving it. And if you want to come follow me on Instagram, it's Fonzy, FONZY_Simon.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I've said to you, and I'm sure I've said on here before as well, I've been really enjoying your YouTube stuff recently as well. Not that I wasn't before, but it is really cool. Now you've sort of taken it to the next level, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's always cool and interesting videos. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. If you want to contact us, you can through any of the social medias we've already said, or you can email us. It's deardownload2003@gmail.com. Email us about anything, whatever you want. Tell us we're good, tell us we're bad, say you want to come on the show, say you don't want to come on the show. I'm expecting that one from Andy Copping's team, but we're trying to get him on. Trust us.
Trying our best.
So yeah, hopefully we've got that coming up. But yeah, come back and listen to us. We've got so many cool things lined up. We got so many cool episodes already in the bag. We've been doing this for a year and a half now, and it's awesome. I'm having just as much fun now as I did when we first started it, and it's so cool.
Even more so.
Yeah.
I think I'm having more fun with it now than I did when we first started, because we were just trying to find our feet in that. Even though the first few episodes I think are really good, I think now we're just chatting.
Yeah.
Just chatting.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
chatting
definitely.
breeze, but we're chatting.
Chatting breeze. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. We have so much fun doing it. Thank you to all of our regular listeners as well. Can't say that enough. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially the ones in the Discord who we know exist.
Yeah, if you're still listening to this podcast up to this point and you're a regular listener and you're not on the Discord, why not? Come and chat to us. We want to know. We want to speak to everyone that listens to this podcast. So if you're a regular listener, you never join the Discord, go and check it out and come and chat to us.
Yeah, awesome.
Because we can have some fun.
Awesome. And if you're new, carry on listening. Carry on. Just keep going.
Yeah. I agree.
You get used to us. We go on tangents, but they're always fun and about music in some way, I would say.
We will grow on you, I promise. We will grow on you. Like a rash. We will grow on you and you won't be able to get rid of us.
Yeah. Awesome. But I think that's it. I think that's everything to say. Do all the good things you do for other people. I'm sure you've probably heard, if you heard lots of podcasts say this kind of thing. Any rating or reviews, I know you can review on but you can rate on Spotify now, so all sort of 5-star ratings are appreciated. All reviews on any of the social medias that you can, or the podcast platforms, are really, really appreciated. Thank you all for listening. Like I said many times, we have been Dear Download. We'll be back. It's normally every 2 weeks, but this time it's only going to be 1 week. So we will see you next Sunday. We'll be talking about Slipknot, everything Slipknot, nothing else. No, there probably will be more stuff.
There'll be a little bit more stuff in there, yeah. Some tangents and some other stuff, but mostly Slipknot.
Mostly Slipknot. What we might expect from them as a headliner at Download Festival 2023. But for this episode, we've been Dear Download. We've got to say goodbye. It's goodbye from
Bye,
Simon.
y'all.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.